The relationship was toxic as F.
Yeah, you know what it do. You want no one, I want no one but you, my love.
What's good, you guys? I'm Nilsa and I'm gonna talk about why I lost my hair. Okay, I'm actually gonna cover a couple things. I'm gonna talk about what caused me to lose my hair, how long I dealt with it, and how I fixed it. From my original video, I know I've gotten a lot of questions in regards to my hair loss with alopecia areata, so I did want to just touch bases on a couple of questions that I didn't answer in my last follow-up video. So what caused it? 2007 was a rough year. Like around 2007, 2008, that was a really tough time. I lost my grandfather and my son's godfather was murdered and my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer. That was a whole lot to deal with. And then my mom eventually passed away in 2008. Once she passed away, I did not deal with her death at all. It was kind of like, put it in a little sack, throw it in the back of my mind and keep moving. I went into, I feel like it would be like survival mode. I pretty much just packed up my son and 2 months later, we end up moving to Colorado. Now on top of that stressor, I was dealing with regular life stresses. I was in a long-term relationship at the time, but I still felt like I was a single mom this whole time. So on top of that, the relationship was toxic as F. I was raising my son by myself pretty much. I moved away from all my family and my friends, and then I started losing my hair again. So yes, I would say survival mode. Yeah, life was it was pretty tough. I didn't deal with it. I didn't talk to my brothers about it. I didn't talk to, my family about it, my friends about it. I just kind of like went on with life. In addition to me not talking to them about my mom's death, right? I wouldn't talk to them about regular problems in my life. Things that pop up. I wouldn't even talk to them. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to deal with this because I don't want them worrying about me. I don't want them stressing out. So I'm just going to deal with it. I was like bottling everything up. Stress. Boom. And then dieting. With me eating, I was eating horrible. I was eating a bunch of junk food, candy, cakes, candy bars, ice cream, sodas, like all that stuff. I literally had no concept of nutrition, nor did I care to even find out about it. And when people would like try to talk to me about it, I just be like, I'm about to eat how I want to eat because this tastes good, blah, blah, blah. Like the younger me was dumb. I was dumb when it came to that. Lo and behold, I was actually building up chronic inflammation in my body. The majority of me feels like it was due to my environment because, we are a product of our environment. Some people can use being in those situations and say, I don't want to be like this. And some people just pretty much become what they see. That's how we grew up in our household too. Like everyone ate the same. We all ate like crap. None of us really knew about nutrition. My mom really didn't start learning about it until her last year or so of life. And trying to change people's eating habits when they're teenagers and adults, like that's hard to do. Trust me, I have a teenager now and trying to get him to eat like me is not as tough. I really feel like everything with nutrition didn't register with me until I actually started dealing with these health problems myself. My diet actually led to a slew of health problems, right? So I had migraines pretty much my whole life. I had an iron deficiency anemia. I had acne. Then I had a gluten intolerance, and then I was lactose intolerant. And then I also developed IBS, which is also irritable bowel syndrome. In addition to my hair falling out, it really took me landing myself in the hospital, checking myself in before I said, okay, now it's time to change. I be trying to tell everybody ahead of time, like, listen, y'all don't have to go through what I went through. Just change your diet now. Okay, so how long did I deal with it? My hair initially fell out in 2007. Okay, and that's when I had like a dime-sized patch in my hair. I pretty much dealt with it for a whole decade, like a whole 10 years, because 2016 was the worst for my hair. Like I lost so much hair in 2016, and then 2017 is when I actually pretty much got rid of it. If you find this video helpful, go ahead and tap that like button, hit subscribe so I can keep making this content for y'all. How I fixed it, like I said in my original video, I changed my eating habits, I reduced my stress, and I stuck to a natural hair regimen. At that time in 2016, 17, this job I had was like super stressful. So I quit. Yeah, when my hair wouldn't grow back and everything. I mean, I probably should have planned that out a little bit better, a lot better. But at that time I was just like, I threw in the towel, honey. In addition to that, I really had to start understanding how to grieve my loss of my mom. And there's really no protocol on how you're supposed to do it, but just deal with it, you know, because it's not gonna go nowhere. In addition to dealing with that, I had to figure out how to deal with everything else and actually talking to people and things like that. So I had to figure out some stress relief techniques, y'all. Also, like I said, changing your environment is big. You know, getting out of the things that you are stuck in doing on a regular basis and seeing something different, that definitely may help you. I still got a ways to go though, but you know, definitely make some changes. And in my diet, like I said, changing my diet was the biggest part, y'all, of me growing my hair back and being healthier in life in general. So after I ended up at a hospital because of my stomach problems, I really had to sit down and make a plan to be better. I cut out a lot of things out of my diet. Now, some people need to take baby steps, but I was just like, chop. I was chopping out groups out of my diet, okay? If you haven't watched my video on things to avoid when dealing with alopecia areata, you should definitely check that out. The lump sum included removing dairy, trans fats, processed foods, fast foods. That includes a bunch of fried foods too, salts, sugars, and then for people who have gluten sensitivities or gluten problems, try removing gluten or at least most of it out of your diet too. So I'll put a breakdown of the foods that I currently eat the majority of the time. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not perfect, so sometimes I may dibble and dabble on, you know, some cookies here and there, but for the most part, about 90 to 95% of my diet, it consists of this clean eating. Specifically because most of my meals, I make them from scratch anyways. We don't eat out often at all. I be at home throwing down. When I started eating better, I can actually say I just felt better and so much more things changed for me. You see my face done cleared up. I don't even know if I'm lactose intolerant anymore because I don't eat dairy, so... But a lot of my digestive problems have cleared up. I really don't get headaches like that no more. Now, please understand just how important your health is, not only to grow your hair back, but just like in general. Like what we eat and the things that we do, though, it affects so much in our bodies. Honestly, I think with dealing with alopecia areata, it comes down to just being ignorant to it. You know, once you actually start diving in, learning about it, learning about things, how to fix it, learning about how much your diet actually affects it, you know, it becomes a little bit clearer what you have to do. Not saying that it's easy, because trust me, it wasn't. But it's clear. That pretty much wraps it up, y'all. Until next time. Mwah.